Sup? Tallywhacker, how you doing, man? Val Burpa. What's up? This is gonna be interesting. I haven't really given y'all a lot of attention lately. Been doing my thing, man. And so I'm gonna watch what y'all got to say a little bit. Alright. Yeah, Joe James, he does, man. Dad Not Me. What's up, Dad Not Me? How's everybody? I don't know if anybody checked out the title of the video, but I'm going to throw this out there, see what any of y'all got to say. Cadillac Sam tried to call me a minute ago, and now he's saying boo. So he wants some attention. But here's the deal. I want to just throw out there right now, and then it can go wherever the fuck it goes. I don't care. Cadillac Sam, maybe we'll talk in a little bit. That's just not how it works. So we'll chat in a few, but it ain't gonna be like just fucking membership has its privileges. This isn't American Express. So are you not fans of Nick and Nate Diaz? If you are, let me know why you are. If you're not and you understand what I'm talking about, let me know why you're not. If you don't know what I'm talking about, don't even worry about that. Just let that shit slide. But yeah, I've been watching a lot of them again lately because it's like, I don't know, man. I just feel like they epitomize what I'm about, like that fighting spirit, you know? It's always been in me. And they do what they do because of survival. To them, it isn't a sport. And they're some OGs, man. Nick Diaz is one of the first 45 people to ever be in the UFC. So I don't know. I feel like they're like as American as it gets, but that's like skimming the surface. I got a lot to say about that, so I just want to throw that out there. I also feel like they're anarchists in that sense. Like they treat their injuries with non-opioid drugs, like, you know, their inflammation and their pain is with cannabis or cannabinoid. I can't say that word very well. Cannabinoid products, and I feel like that is to me that is what is, you know, they're not trying to be another statistic. You know, they're trying to heal themselves in the most natural way possible. And both of them have incredible stamina. So, like, they put on great shows whether they win or lose, you know. Man, I just don't know. I don't know. It just seems to me they'd have more fans. And they got a lot of hate. Like, even Connor McGregor had a lot more love the first fight than Nate Diaz in America. And I know Connor's some whatever the fuck, but Connor McGregor has lost 3 of his last 4 fights. And the one fight he did win was a decision win against Nate Diaz that Nate Diaz says he won. So, of course he would. But still, maybe Nate Diaz just let that happen, controlled it, so that he could get that number 3 fight and get some real money to start looking toward retirement. I love the Diaz boys, Tallywhacker. That has become, like, for real, like, I was always, like, I don't know, fans of them, but not loudly about it till recently. And now I wholeheartedly back that shit. I love the fucking attitude, everything about them, the way they treat the media is perfect. Exactly the way it should be done. It's unfair. I think that the UFC does not give them enough chances to take home straps because they rise up and fight the big fight. I don't know, man. They'll win in a big fight where they might not get up for like some fight they're putting them in just to make money. Nick Diaz quote was, when I need money, I got to go take it from a man. I like that. I like that quote. I don't. That's not. And he doesn't mean criminally either. He means he has to go in there, and in order to get the money that you get for winning, you got to take it from a man. And I dig that. So, yeah, fuck Floyd Mayweather, man. All that bullshit, man. That dude, 50-0 because he can duck. Respect to his skills, absolutely the best defensive fighter probably in history. But man, Jesus, dude. I don't know, man. Floyd Mayweather, whatever. That's what that is to me. It's no Mike Tyson. Nothing exciting like Mike Tyson's tragic story is. It's whatever, man. I wish that he'd have been in some more real brawls, man. Like some of those old school, like God, man, like Thomas Hearns and Sugar Ray Leonard's brawls, man. Just wow, that was exciting. This bullshit where he's ducking and dodging and shit the whole entire time, wearing motherfuckers out. It's whatever, man. I like to see motherfuckers mad at each other, whooping on each other's ass. Yeah. It's funny because there might be some new people here because I've been dabbling in some new communities lately, and y'all are going to be like, wait a minute, this dude just cusses the whole time. I have got to get better at being live and not just swearing up and down and I get too relaxed. And so this is all for me very much I'm testing myself every time I go live to see how much better I can get at it. So far, like I got, on a scale of 1 to 10, I've been doing this 7 months. I think I'm around a 1.8 because I'm giving myself 1.1, 1.2. So I've still got plenty of growth to go to where I'm getting to my ultimate spot. And I want to center this channel around interviews. But I also want to be able to bring up topics and be able to continue to host the show, even with, I'm watching all this shit going on over here. I'm not going to moderate this channel. So if you don't like what you're seeing with some of the shit that people are saying, you can block them. Just tap on them, hit block, and you won't see what they're saying. And if you want to get in the conversation, I'm reading also. So I'm able to look in there and see if I see anything I want to react to. If I don't, I'll let it just go. Depending on how good my glasses are that night, sometimes I can't see very well. So it is what it is. If I get at you, I get at you. Need a studio, get a little bit more professional. That's Tallywhacker. Tallywhacker, you seem to be stuck at that level, like you kind of leveled up to just basically throwing ideas down and making sure that the ideas are out there without necessarily getting into more of the intricate editing. But for those who kind of following what you're doing, I get where you're going with the ideas. The ideas themselves are loud. The editing, obviously, as it gets better, can bring out those stories and what you're trying to say even better, I think. I want to try to get people to cross-promote people all up and down now. That's another thing I've just started out in these newer chat rooms. People are real supportive. Today I was in James Freeman's chat. He had like 1,700 people in there. He was looking at, I don't know if anybody follows this First Amendment stuff, but Furry Potato was shot while she was doing a First Amendment audit. And I think she was shot by a security guard, and the security guard was arrested. It all happened on her live stream. And he got on live when she was incapacitated at that point and began to cover it. And it became really interesting. So if you're into any of the First Amendment audit stuff, that's James Freeman. He's got like a long red beard, red head. He is a First Amendment auditor. He's the channel that he had on today that I went on live with only had 15,000 subscribers. There might be a reason for that. I thought he had a lot more than that, but that's the channel that he had on today. And he's very good at that shit, the First Amendment auditing. which essentially is taking a camera around in public places and filming your public servants doing what they're doing, being paid tax dollars to do it, right? So we pay them, they're the public servants. We are allowed to take photography of them, and they go and push the public servants' limits, and I put that in quotes, by being kind of in their face with a camera, asking them what they're doing, essentially making them accountable. It's an accountability club. And they do this with police officers, with like library, security guards, with at military bases, at borders, post offices. They pretty much cover the gamut, and you're allowed to be there with your cameras. It's public funded properties, and so it's technically yours. They have cameras in almost all of these places already. So people who protest to being on camera really aren't thinking that logically through, because you're doing it anyway. So check them out. James Freeman, First Amendment audits, cop watchers, things like that. I've been watching that for probably like 18 months-ish now, and it's the next thing I'd like to try to do. You can call collect if you want to call me, Cal. If you got it in you, Cal, to call me, if you think you got it in you to give me a holla, I'll take the charges. Because I know you're probably locked up in some place where you can't call except for collect. Let's see if that really happens. See, I don't think I was paying attention to that shit. Now, these glasses hide what my eyes do. So that's the one benefit of having really shitty glasses. Like, they look like I rake them on the driveway every day. What I do is, someday, bro, I take him to my neighbor's, and in order to help get him out when he's stuck, I stick my glasses underneath his tire, and it gets him traction, and he gets right out. And yeah, and then I pay the consequences with that right there. But I'll tell you what, you stick them over the window in the wintertime, and it helps insulate the house. Facts. California Sherpa. One night, bro. Look, I've written to Santa Claus already twice over you. Twice. I wrote the first initial letter, and then I wrote back after I didn't get you on Christmas. So, Santa's now getting irritated, I'm certain, with all of my letters and emails and phone calls. Yeah, I've been pissing off the man. But I'm going to get Sherpa on. That's my dream. Everybody who knows this channel, the only reason it exists at this point is to interview Cal Sherpa. And to be more specific, to interview California riding Sherpa. About him and his life, not about the slabs. It's going to be a legit deal when it does happen. And I believe it will one day. Because I believe... Just because I believe. Just because I got some beliefs. Because I'm a believer. I believe the children are the future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. I believe I can fly. I believe in fairy tales. I believe in shooting stars. I believe I'm falling in love. All those things. I'm a believer. I couldn't leave her if I tried. Alright, as long as it's collect, man. I definitely want to have to pay the 50 cents. Or whatever it turns out to be. It's the one thing that's gotten cheaper and cheaper to do since it's been invented is make phone calls. Facts. Look at Sherpa. Look, man, I've been on record, just wanted to be on record about that strike, abusing the strike thing. When you strike somebody, you have got to face a worse consequence than just being like, all right, 10 days is enough because I feel like it. if you've done it frivolously. And obviously, I believe the one against me was frivolous, and I believe the one against you was frivolous. And ironically, YouTube is now looking into it because it happened to some bigger YouTubers. And y'all know Mr. Beast is. Mr. Beast, who happens to also be out of North Carolina, I trained him, has like, I don't know, 17 million subscribers ish. I don't know, maybe 15 million. I didn't train him. That's right. I made that part up. But he is 15 million subscriber ish. He was struck. He had a video copyright struck because him and his buddy started singing Bon Jovi's "Living on a Prayer." They just bust into it like it's part of the video. Whoa, we're halfway there. Whoa, living on a prayer. All right. Well, this dude who has nothing to do with Bon Jovi struck the video because he wrote a song called Living On. And in Living On, he claims that what they were singing, they copyright, well, he had a copyright claim for that. That's how silly it was. So now YouTube is actually looking into this more, and they're talking about worse punishments for people who file frivolous copyright strikes because it's so easy to abuse the copyright strike policy. And that was my whole bread and butter of the argument. I just wanted to get that out there for many of you who are over here who are starting up YouTube channels, who are going to be a YouTube channel and want to facilitate a YouTube channel. You're going to find that copyright bullshit is some bullshit because they really don't explain to you exactly. You got to kind of figure out what is fair use, and anybody can pretty much copyright you, and then you get punished, and then they may or may not even, by the time you've served your punishment, they may or may not have even looked at this thing. When I got struck, I complained a lot. Basically, every time I called, I was calling the place that they were, they were like, do you want to buy anything from us? That was the people I was getting in touch with. They were just salespeople. And they would give me links to follow on the email to, solve this copyright problem, and no one ever would respond to that shit. So that was just going to be me sitting there for 90 days on some bullshit. So thank God YouTube is actually looking at this, and maybe it's because it's happened to some bigger YouTubers now, and they are complaining about it. Mr. Beast complained about it on Twitter. He did like 4 Twitter videos to complain about it, and that got YouTube to respond. So it took bigger YouTubers getting screwed with, when it can really harm the smaller YouTubers who are just getting started, you're just getting a nice slow climb, and then you're not able to post anything for 2 weeks. That can really fuck with, if you only have 1,000 subscribers, that can knock that loose. Whereas if you had a couple million subscribers, there'd be more interest in it. Does anybody follow me, or do I not make any sense at all? Play Porch Honky. I think I do a pretty good job of doing that anyway, man. Like, just basically what I'm doing. I think I'm doing that. You know what I mean? My guitar's broke, and I would otherwise just sing all what y'all are saying. I think that would be fantastic. I'd love to sing what y'all are saying tonight, but I can't do it. I could say it, but I don't think it has the same oomph to it than trying to sing it, So I'm looking over there and then not looking over there. Nobody really has responded about the Diaz brothers. Maybe a few people. So that's not really a hot topic, obviously. Cal Sherpa said I was fouling. What Cal is in jail for? He's not actually in jail, Cadillac Sam. That was me because he needed to call me collect, make him fun. I don't think he's in jail. Maybe he is in jail. I have not seen his channel. I don't know, man. Cal, did you get the strike lifted? Do you want to go on record now or not? Because I have not actually, we don't know. I seemed like you were able to upload videos, but you haven't necessarily gone on to say that the strike was lifted. I guess maybe by uploading videos, you're saying that strike was lifted. Yeah, you got 9 days. I got what you're saying now. All right, I got you. Maybe I don't got you, Sam. Cadillac scam. I don't got you. Okay. He has the Barbie video. I wonder what's going to happen in that video. I've got ideas. I'm sure you do too. You should just edit in all kinds. Do what you want, obviously, man. Hey, I don't know you, but I would use as much GJB as possible because I hear that dude is down and thinks it's really funny, and with anybody else who thinks the same thing. Just anybody. There's a myriad of people I think who would be just cool with it. But you do what you want with it. It's your video, and I'm glad he did. I didn't know for sure. I'm glad he did actually do that, and he's followed through with not coming back on. Although he did make up that story that he hasn't come back on and apologized for making up, which insinuated that myself or maybe even you called in bomb threats to his local area, which didn't happen. I called the sheriff's department. That didn't happen. I just want to make sure it didn't happen before I made sure I didn't do it. Okay, I was 100% sure I didn't do it, but then again, sometimes when I'm sleeping, okay, no, never. I've never actually called in a bomb threat. So I knew I didn't do it, but I wanted to make sure it didn't happen, and it didn't happen. And that dude has never come back on to admit it didn't happen, and because he won't do that, that pretty much guarantees he's not coming back on, unless he can figure out a way to explain why he lied to everybody about that at such a grandiose level, and for what reason did you fucking say that on your way out the door? It's like farting and locking people in a fucking freezer with it, and then just breathing in fart cubes. It's just like that, and I know what that's like. Robert, man, I didn't do an update on that Dibble guy because every time I've called about that Dibble guy, he's still taking the steps towards us ever knowing anything else. So, because it's still the same thing, except for perhaps, and that I heard was from Willow, perhaps he had one of the charges were dropped, one or two of the charges, but I don't know that for sure. And it seems like it's taken forever just to get this thing heard, and that's all that matters at this point. Last thing was like in the middle of December, they had a jury selection, I think, and so they're going on that far down the road with it, so we'll see. I do believe he's responsible for ruining this community, and turning it into what happened to it, if it's worth whatever. But at the same time, a just verdict could be responsible for restoring it. You know what I mean? Just think that everybody got set in all kinds of different directions and fucking rumors and all kinds of other shit, and coupled with there were some facts that were unfortunate for the slabs this year, that have been a growing trend for the slabs this year. Whatever. It's like that in many other places out here. Coupled with the wide open atmosphere of point the finger and troll. It was like, go that way and troll. Come on, let's go this way and troll, which was fantastic if you love that shit. But it just created I don't know, man. It seemed by now, waiting on a verdict, it's all just like, yeah, nah. It's just not even worth diving back into anymore, man, until we know what the fuck. And then we can pick up from there, man. Because you're either on one side or the other for sure. You think he's guilty or you think he's not. My opinion, from what I see, it's like a 80-20 kind of thing. But the 20% of people are mostly people who are closer to him. Just saying. Maybe that should be the way it is, right? You know what I mean? But then also they were closer to him. So some of the people who I've heard from who don't think he's guilty don't like him. That's the other thing. I don't know, man. It's an enigma wrapped inside of a tourniquet with a little side order of avocados. You never know what you're going to get. That's what my mom always told me. Awful high. Awful high. Phew. I mean, if they never went to court, you'd just stay in jail forever. Just everything needs 2 more to make his goal. I think we should go fish over at just everything. And help him make that goal. Shout out to Dog Lips. Dog Lips needs a few people to come on hop over there. Rick Sanchez would probably enjoy it if you scrambled over there and fished down his hole. Shout out Castaway Carney. We do this sometimes when Cal Sherpa's in the room. It's the only time you'll ever catch me doing this. I hope anyway. It's just in honor of my hero, Cal Sherpa. If you see the way my hand looks, it's because this is broken and it makes this look ridiculous. It looks like LOL. I think. I don't know. Or maybe. Wow. I don't know. I don't really stare at that much. Look how funky the bone looks though. See that? That's from it being broken. It makes for a really big knuckle right there, but nothing over here, man. You can't miss. You gotta come on clean. Yeah. That was been too many fights, man. Too many times I broke it. But I don't have cauliflower ear, man. You won't see me getting strangled. I'm gonna punch or get punched. I learned my fighting skills from Clint Eastwood. In Any Which Way But Loose. That's where I learned it. I fight roughly a 2-hour long fight, starting out, on the ranch, and then just going through a couple fences in the in the desert, but whatever. It's hot. It's got to be hot. I like to fight in the extreme heat with no shirt on and jeans. And the only rule is you can only punch each other in the face. So and the winner gets a monkey. Way I fight. It's my style. I think that is pretty much Nate and Nick's style, actually. It's nothing but face shots, hands and feet. No, they ain't it. God, man, they bring actually these hooks to the stomach that they'll fight with, and the way they throw some of their punches, like slaps, are just throwing his arms. Either Nick or Nate, both of them fight this way. They throw their arms like a baseball bat, like they're swinging a baseball bat, and it's impressive the way they're underneath it, and then how much power they can get behind it. Just to bounce back to that for just a second, because I thought of it because of the whole. See how I do that? That's how I do it, man. Cadillac Sam, you want to give me a holler real quick, man? And did you want to talk about some things? You can do that right now if you want to. We'll just do a blind, quick call him Cadillac Sam, and he's fun to talk to. He's actually got a lot of controversy around him almost all the time, and kind of is able to duck it. Just ducks it. Like, I think he owns it and then moves the fuck on. Cadillac Sam reminds me of Donald Trump almost in that way, that he's able to just, yeah. I mean, he didn't deny anything about yelling at the old lesbian lady and calling her all kinds of names. He didn't really deny it because it was on video. Why deny it? And he didn't really catch a lot of fucking hell for that. He just seems to be like he can duck catching hell, which makes his videos exciting because he might serve up a little bit of sauce. You never know. And not afraid to catch hell is almost a prerequisite if you're going to make videos that are edgy. And if you're going to lead like a hobo army, you might want to make an edgy video or two. That's just my opinion. But Cadillac Sam seems to be okay. I think maybe less is more, you know. I think maybe they need to reel it in, maybe him and Tommy both. I think Tommy's just started to do that. Give people a little less and they'll want more. You know, it's let them savor that shit, man. It's like a delicious steak. Just Cadillac Sam, just sit there inside my big gaping holes in my teeth and sink down into my juicy, juicy, juicy nerves. And sat there for a good 30, right? Before I'm able to pick you out of there with a goddamn fucking toothpick. Suck the rest of it right off. You know what I mean? Good job, buddy.